Hi there. I get a lot of questions from my beginner ukulele students on how to make strumming and playing along with songs less traumatic. And I would like to offer some tips in that direction. Basically, the idea is to find ways to learn how to change from chord to chord more smoothly and with less fumbling and a nice even strum over here on the strumming hand. So the idea here is that if you have a couple of concepts in mind, this will help that progression become easier for you, as well as some tools to use, which is primarily backing tracks, meaning something to play along with. The big takeaway here is if you're practicing strumming in your garage or in front of your cat, that's all fine and dandy, but it's very much akin to practicing swimming in a parking lot. And you need to be playing along with stuff to keep you in time and to put some rhythmic accountability in there. So let's start with talking about the concepts I want you to have in the forefront here as we work on strumming. Is number one, we have to figure out super easy chord progressions. Super easy. We don't want to have to be thinking a whole lot at first. We want to just be focusing on staying in time with a steady heartbeat strum and moving our fingers on the left hand to keep ahead of this strum. This is the motor, this is the steering wheel. The last thing we want to be doing is this, where we strum along a little too fast. We stop the strum, we fumble for the chord, and then we start the motor up again. That will never fly in a sing-along or a jam session. No one's going to stop and wait for you. So what's key here is that this, the right hand, or left hand if you're left-handed, the strumming hand, is a heartbeat. I call that heartbeat strumming. So it'd be better to super slowly do that heartbeat and give yourself much more time to change chords in between the strums. It's almost like this is a jump rope. This is you trying to get in between the rope and not get hit. This can't stop for the chord hand. It's got to keep going. So with that in mind, let's start with some really easy chord switching exercises. The way to start this is with one finger chords, of course. So we're going to go a good old C chord, which is arguably one of the easiest chords on the ukulele. And then I'm going to have you jump over to an A minor. Now the legal way to do this is with the middle finger on the top string toward the ceiling at the second fret or second space. Okay? If you want, you can use your pointer for now. Okay? But try to see if you can do ring finger on that C chord, and for the A minor, jump over with the middle finger. So before we do anything, we're going to talk about finger order. What finger goes where when? Now, of course, this is not so relevant in one finger chords, but if you adopt this early on, it'll be helpful when you have a bunch of fingers running around the neck. So let's talk about what's happening when. First of all, of course, our ring finger is going to be on the first string by the floor at the third fret, giving us our trusty dusty C chord. And then we're going to jump that off. As that's lifting off, our middle finger is going to be pivoting over and grabbing that fourth string at the second space, second fret, okay? So let's practice that move together without even strumming. So make your C chord, okay? I'm going to count to 4 and we're going to switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, switch. Good. Now stay there. We're going to switch back. 1, 2, 3, 4, switch. Beautiful. Now we'll switch it and test it. 1, 2, 3, 4, switch. Test it. If something sounds funny or muted, remember, in this early stage, make sure your fingers are not in the middle of all that space between frets, but right snug up next to the business fret, the fret that you're fretting at. Nothing to fret about. Not on top of the fret. That will mute the tone. Right behind it. That's more leverage, okay? Also, make sure that your hand is comfortable. A lot of teachers talk about, form and posture and how to push the elbow out. That's all fine and dandy. I want you comfortable. I want you to make sure whatever you're doing, you're not cramping up or feeling very awkward. If something feels really awkward or cramping up, make sure you redesign how the uke is fitting on your body. Everyone has different anatomical issues, and the key here is to make sure it's comfortable on your body, okay? So we're going to practice now strumming together. We're going to go basically C for 4 really slow strums. And when I say strum, I just mean either a finger or a thumb. It doesn't matter right now. Down brushing all the strings. So it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, that's slow. Then we're going to leap over to our new A minor. Do your best to keep up with me. Remember, it would be better to stay in time with the strum and be fumbling over here for the chord, but stay in time with me. This is because that will allow you to jam with people down the road, and that's the whole point of this if you haven't guessed by now. So let's try it after the count of 4. Our first exercise in strumming, which is C to A minor, 4 strums each. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's the C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch right away. 1, 2, 3, 4. And back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch. 1, 2. Very nice. 3, 4. Back to C. 1, 2, 3, 4. And switch. 1. Everything relaxed. 3, 4. Back to C. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to A minor. 1, 2. A couple more times. We're in the groove now. There's the C. Stay with me. Stay in time. That's the main thing. There's the A minor. This is kind of nice and relaxing and hypnotic. C. Very nice. If you can do that, you can strum any song. All it is scaffolding, building on that thing you just did, where the right hand stays steady as a clock, heartbeat strumming, and the left hand has to change in between the strums. We don't wait for the hand to change chords, okay? That's the big thing. So that was cool. Those were both one-finger chords. Let's move it up one notch. We're going to go from our same C chord, but now we're going to go over to F, okay? By the way, if you haven't guessed by now, you should probably have a trusty, dusty ukulele chord chart out in reference when you're doing this video. They're all over online. We do have one at JamAlong.org. If you go to the jamming resources, scroll down to ebooks and charts, and then scroll down to chord charts ukulele. We do have one. But they're all over. It doesn't matter what chord chart. What matters is that it's simple and easy. It doesn't have a bunch of chords that look like this for now. All right? So our new exercise is going to be C. And we're going to go to F, which is the pointer finger on the second string in from the bottom at the first fret. And then the middle finger is going to reach over just where it was before, the same place on the fourth string at the second fret. Okay? So that's our transition. Let's talk about finger order. Remember, it's all about what finger is going when, where. Okay? So basically what's going to happen when we do this new shift from C to F, here's the steps. Number 1, ring finger lifts off. Number 2, pointer falls down on the second string at the first fret. And number 3, middle finger jumps over to the fourth string at the second fret. That's the steps. So we're going to practice this finger order together. 3 steps. 1 lift off, 2 pointer down, 3 middle down. Okay? So I'm going to count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3. We're going to switch from C to F in those 3 steps. Okay? Feel free to watch me a couple times if you want, and then join me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift, pointer, middle. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift, pointer, middle. Remember, we're starting that exercise with the C chord already down, okay? Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift, pointer, middle. Beautiful. Do that as much as you need to do before moving on to the actual strumming, which is about to happen. Remember, you can pause this and work on lift, pointer, middle for hours if you wish, okay? Have a lot of coffee handy. It really helps with the learning process. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to count to 4. We're going to play that together. Trusty 4 strums each of C, lift, pointer, middle, 4 strums each of F, okay? Let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and F. 2, 3, 4. Back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift, pointer, middle, F. And back. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to F. Hang in there. It can be messy. It doesn't matter. C. F. You'll notice that the tension level's rising. You might have a bit of adrenaline. Rock that stuff, man. That'll help you later on at the open mic. So for now, the mantra for you is to know the order of fingers. Don't just dive out of one chord, desperately trying to find the next chord and hope you end there. Know which finger is moving where, when. So in this case, when you're going from C to F, you lift the ring, you put the pointer down, then put the middle down. All right? Let's go to another chord progression. All right, now we're going to use our first 3-finger chord in these exercises. We're going to go from our trusty C chord to a G7. Okay? So once again, to explain G7, what it is that ring finger that was on the C chord here is going to slide back 1 fret, and then the pointer is going to go down on the 1st fret on the next string over, the 2nd string, and then the middle finger is going to fall down on that 3rd string at the 2nd fret. So we have this diamond shape, which is a G7 chord. Okay? Once again, the more research you do with your chord chart, figuring out the basic open positions for the 7ths and majors, the better. So I'm going to talk you through that again. Let's take a look at my hand. C chord. You know that one already. G7 is the ring finger goes back 1 fret on the same string. The pointer finger falls down on the 2nd string at the 1st fret. Okay? Nice and snug under the frets. Make sure your fingers are tippy-toe, not falling over. And then the middle finger reaches over to the next string, which happens to be the 3rd string, at the 2nd fret. And that diamond shape, if you strum it, should have a pleasing bluesy sound to it. Okay? So our finger order for this move from C to G7 is 1, ring finger slides down, 2, pointer falls on the 1st fret, 2nd string, and then 3, middle finger falls on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. So that's the 3 steps. So I'm going to have us practice that shift together like we did before, silently. Okay? I'm going to count to 4, and then I'm going to say 1, we slide down. I'm going to say 2, we put the pointer down. I'm going to say 3, and we put the middle down. Breaking up the movements, very important. Okay? Get ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slide, pointer, middle. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slide, pointer, middle. Remember, you're starting with a C chord. Let's try that again. Grab that C chord, have it at the ready, and then I'm going to count to 4, and then we're going to slide down, and then put the pointer, and then put the middle. You got this. Ready? Grab the C chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slide, pointer, middle. Good. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slide, pointer, middle. Remember these exercises. Have a notepad. Write it down. These are the warm-ups you want to be doing when you sit down with your ukulele and you want to practice. Do this stuff first, okay? Now let's try it with the heartbeat strum. And I'm going to keep a nice even beat for us. Nice and slow. We're going to play 4 C strums. And then in fast succession, you're going to do that slide, pointer, middle. Hopefully in between strums. If you crash, don't worry. It's only folk music. And then we're going to do it together up to the count of 4. 1. Grab your C. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slide pointer middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready. Slide pointer middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. And G7. 2, 3, 4, back to C, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and back to G7, 1, 2, 3, 4. Over and over again. If you have to right now, pause the video, do that on your own. Back and forth, 4 strums each, C to G7, and when you move to G7, slide down, then pointer, then middle. That's worth its weight in gold. If that's all you take away from this video, that is huge. That is enormous, okay? So, pause it, practice that, go have a cup of coffee, come back, pet your cat, and now we're going to try moving it up to a real kind of like pop music progression. So I'm going to talk a bit about this next chord progression. It's called popcorn, and it's known throughout history of Western music for pretty much every song written in the 50s. It's also known as a 1-6-2-5. If you're taking notes, write down that you're about to learn the popcorn progression, or 1-6-2-5. You'll hear it all the time. Let me give you a brief preview. See if you recognize this. Over and over again. In swing music, blues, there's so many ways you'll hear this progression. In this case, get your pin out, we're going to be playing C, A minor, D minor, that's the one new chord here, and then the G7 that we already learned, okay? Don't worry, I'm going to walk you through this. But the best part about this section of the lesson is now we bring in backing tracks. This is what makes strumming chords fun. You don't want to learn swimming in a parking lot. You want to learn it in the water. You don't want to practice strumming by yourself because you don't know if you're speeding up or slowing down. You want to play with backing tracks. That's why at JamAlong.org we have a whole library of backing tracks. All right, so you have full progressions, you have basic chord progressions, you have 12-bar blues. In this case, just go to jamalong.org, go to the search bar in the upper right, and type in popcorn, and it will come up. All right, so it's only $5. If you're a member, of course, it's free to you. Call us about that. But what we want to be doing here is getting into your head that practicing by yourself with chords is limited in its use. You want to play along with a beat. Now, yes, of course, there's the metronome, but that's rather cruel. This will be a lot funner. It's like a sugar-coated metronome. Let's describe what's going to happen. This is the popcorn progression in the key of C. You may want to write that down. Popcorn in C is C, A minor, D minor, G7. All right? And let's listen to how that sounds. It's this really cool circle. It goes around and around and around forever. Super duper awesome. And this is the first time we're going to use it along with the backing tracks on the website. So let's take just a minute to talk about how that's going to work. All right, so here we are at the popcorn backing track at jamalong.org. And as you can see, we have a bunch of keys. We have A, B, C, D, E, and G. Ton of keys. Now, the trick here is to notice that at the bottom, we have tempo adjustment buttons. So you can make it slower or faster. So if we listen to our popcorn track in C, let's put our ears on for a minute. You can hear that's just a wee bit fast, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to play it 2 clicks slower. Let's watch that in action. I'm going to click 2 clicks slower. 1, 2, and then when we play it, 2, 3, 4. Nice and easy. Beautiful. We got this. So, get ready, get comfortable, and we're going to play your first actual pop chord progression together. This is a big deal. This is a really big deal. And first, we're going to walk you through the finger order. So we're going to start with 4 C chords, right? Remember that first thing we did when we jumped over to the A minor? That's the next thing that happens. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, for the D minor, your middle finger is going to stay put. It's not going to move. Your ring finger is going to fall down right under it on the 2nd fret at the next string, the 3rd string, 2nd fret. So those are together on the same fret. Then your pointing finger is going to hop over back to that same place it was for the G7, 2nd string, 1st fret. All right? So D minor is a really cool chord. It is basically middle finger right there, ring finger right under it, and then pointer finger right here. So that is awesome. And then guess what? This is a really cool move. To move to the G7, pay attention, the pointer finger stays posted. It doesn't move, okay? And the middle finger is going to hop over to where the ring finger was, and the ring finger is going to hop over to the 1st string. So you have this really cool pivot going on from D minor to G7. The pointer finger stays put. right? So let's walk through that together after the count of 4 very slowly. 1, grab your C. 2, 3, 4. Here's your C chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Leap over to A minor with the middle finger. 1, 2, 3, 4. Leave that middle finger. Pop the other fingers down for the minor chord. 3, 4. Now leave the pointer. Hop the others to G7. 2, 3, 4. Let's try that again. C. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor and 1, 2, 3, 4. And then here's the A minor, D minor, and G7. Beautiful. Now we're ready to play it with the popcorn track. Remember, part of your practice should be heading over to JamAlong.org and bookmarking or purchasing the popcorn backing tracks. Once you get this one in the key of C that I walked you through, then you want to do G, then you want to do D, and that right there, just that one lesson will provide you with months and months of chord changing practice. Super duper valuable. Here we go. We'll see you at JamAlong. Have fun playing, stay calm. Let's play this together. 1, 2, 3, 4. C. A minor. D minor. G7. We got this. C. Stay with the rhythm. A minor. D minor. G7. One more time, and then you deserve a break. Nice and easy. When you've done a bunch of this strum work and you've played with all the backing tracks and you've worked with the popcorn tracks a bunch, I can't recommend too much getting our lesson Fun with Rhythm. Okay, that takes this to the next level and shows you all the other strums. All the stuff you can be doing with the right hand to spice it up, and then a lot of more chord progressions as well. So once again, check out Fun with Rhythm. It's linked in the comments below, or you can search Fun with Rhythm in the search bar at jamalong.org. And keep on strumming. We'll see you out jamming. C.